And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show.
Welcome to another edition of DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Razul McGee. It's Saturday. That's right, it's Saturday to hear the sports that you want to hear on your weekend. Welcome to the best sports night show on the planet. Again, your host, Razul McGee. I cannot tell you how much of sports news we got. We got a lot to get covered. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about the Washington Commanders and who their owner is going to be. We're also going to discuss what's happening with their OC. Is the OC actually taking his hand and molding the Washington Commanders? We'll get that. And also, we're going to talk about the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards right now are playing against the Toronto Raptors. They beat Toronto Raptors in DC. Now they're in Canada right now, taking on the Raptors. I'll get to the sports and the score in a minute. We're also going to talk about the Washington Capitals. And they're taking on San Jose Sharks. I'll get to that as well. We just got a whole lineup. We're going to talk about the March Madness. We're going to talk about the Maryland Terrapins. They are now 20-10. They were 20-9, but they lost to Ohio State. And I'll get to the score as well. We're also talking about the DC United. They're kicking off 1-0, and who they're next going against? Columbus tonight, 7:30. Check your local listenings there. We have a lot to get to, but before we start, last but not least, we're going to take questions from you guys. That's right, you guys. And any questions you might have sports related, we're going to talk to you about. So, with that being said, I'm going to open up the phone lines. The phone lines. The call number is 512-543-4662. I'm going to say it again, 512-543-4662. And make sure you state your name and where you're coming from, where you're calling from, so that way we can hear, so the listeners can hear and chime in as well with any questions you might have on the Dmv Sports Show. And we let everybody know that, hey, we want to hear you first and what you say. All right. So with that being said, let's get to the question. So we're starting with the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders have their OC, Eric Bieniemy. He was a former KC OC. He used to be up there with Andy Reid. Just recently won the Super Bowl against none other than the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a real good game, but I knew Kansas City was going to come on top and win this one. So now what's happening next with the Commanders is none other than the Combine. That's right. The Combine is on its way. And right now, everybody is focusing on these potential candidates. Even the Commanders are looking at Christian Gomez. Now, this guy is actually a CB out of Oregon University. And, he's not really bad. He's really good. But they did something completely remarkable. They actually signed a wide receiver by the name of Marcus Kemp. Now, Marcus Kemp is a Kansas City wide receiver. He was undrafted from Hawaii and spent most of his NFL career with the Chiefs. So, I mean, is this a great pickup? I think so, because he has his career, he only has 4 receptions for 42 yards. Kemp was a 4-year contributor of Hawaii and corralled 2,570 yards for 13 touchdowns. For the Rainbow Warriors, on 176 receptions as a senior, he played 14 games and caught career high 73 passes for 1,100 yards with 8 scores. So this is actually a good thing, because I can see his numbers. Now, is he familiar with the wide receiver? Is he familiar with the wide receiver position of OC? We shall find out. All right. So that's a good thing what the Commanders are doing. But we have a caller here. State your name for the record.
My name is Tim Antonio from VA.
Hey, what's up, Tim? What's up, Tim Antonio? Oh, we also have another caller here from Rockdale. Who am I speaking with? 512-430-3528.
Hey, what's up? It's your buddy Gerald.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
That's good, man. Well, welcome to the Dmv Sports Show. I'm glad you could be here on your Saturday speaking, sports with us. Since both of you here, I want to get your comments on the Combine. We'll start with you, Gerald. What are your thoughts on the Combine? What particular player you're zeroing on in?
Texas over Sean.
So is he like your favorite candidate to be with the team, the Cowboys, or do you have another potential candidate that you want to zero up on?
Well, right now we need secondary, and I think he could help us.
Excellent.
Because he's got the speed off the edge.
So let me ask you a question. Do you like how the Cowboys franchise Tony Pollard, or do you think they should have gave him a deal?
No, they should have gave that man a deal.
Yeah, they should have. Absolutely. But we have another caller that just chimed in. Caller, state your name for the record.
Marilyn.
How you doing, Marilyn? Welcome to the DMV Sports Show. You're accompanied by Gerald and Tim Antonio from VA.
Cool. Well,
So,
everybody.
so that is a great thing. Yeah, so going back to the combine, Gerald just said that he's looking at a wide receiver, a CB for Texas. Maryland, what are you looking for in the draft to help the team that you follow?
I was looking actually for an RB, but since what about our safety?
Well, they have a lot of RBs up there. The one out of Texas, the one out of Arkansas, the one out of I think USC. Tim.
Yeah, Maryland, who's your team?
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Okay. Whether they I'm thinking about thinking about getting a quarterback or a left tackle.
Left tackle. So the OT that they're looking for is Darnell from the University of Tennessee. He's their primary target. So I don't know if they're going to get him at 16, but if they do, then they're trying to decide to move up to get their CB from University of Oregon. So they're looking for 2 spots. So they might trade up to get these type of players. Now, I don't know what they're going to give up to get these 2 players, but Darnell from Tennessee is the primary target. I know that for certain because not only other analysts believe that they're going to get it, this guy is a resemblance of Trent Williams on that side. So they're going to get the OT of Darnell from the University of Tennessee. We also have a question here. What about the draft picks from college basketball? Well, there's not really a draft pick from the college of basketball, but there are selections they made in the NBA that's coming up too in June. So I'll keep you posted.
Well, you do know that there's a safety that has been let loose.
Say again, Marilyn.
I said there's a safety that has been let loose.
Yes, Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain was actually released today because of the fact that they didn't think his play was stellar. They think they can get a better safety in Christian Gonzalez. Now, Christian Gonzalez is actually, I think they're eyeballing him to be the safety that they can coach up and potentially be a threat to the NFC East. Now, with our other talents such as St. Jude and Forrester, I think, and Kendall Fuller, I think this will potentially bring our defensive backs up to standards with the NFC East, as well as
ask you this.
Yeah.
They were eyeballing, because Fuller, he's good.
Yes.
I got to say, he is good.
Yes.
But yet, they were eyeballing somebody else for Buller's spot.
Who's that? Who was that?
And that was in the number 16 draft. And I was like, are y'all nuts?
Well, you know,
I'm sorry.
You know, I totally agree with you. Sometimes the GMs will pass up a potential star and then have another team pick him up and basically mold him into the star that there is, and then let him go at the end. I could give you one good person that I wanted to be here more than anything during the draft when we drafted. I think we drafted somebody else. I forgot what it was. I think his name was Bacardi Rambo. Bacardi Rambo was our defensive back here a few years back, and Bacardi Rambo was okay, but he wasn't like top notch. But I wanted DJ Swearinger. Now DJ Swearinger was a Texan, but we were picking at that level, at that number in the draft. I think it was 15, and we were picking at 15, and we got Bacardi Rambo. DJ Swearinger hasn't been picked. He was right there. I was so heated because if you look at Bacardi and DJ Swearinger stands out as a true safety more than anything Bacardi did. So once we dropped Bacardi, I was like, this guy is not going to be half as good as DJ Swearinger. And it turns out DJ Swearinger was the AFC East player for 3 years before he became a Arizona Cardinal. And then later down the line, we did sign him as a free agent to play on our defense. And then that's when, Jay Gruden screwed that up. I don't want to go back into that and get that lengthy comment, but that is one of the most upsetting thing that I can remember about.
Oh, he started the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, exactly. I could not tell you how. Yeah,
I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, I totally. I
can whoop some butt on that one. Sorry, guys, but I was going to say Washington can have Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, see, here's the problem with Zeke coming to Washington. I mean, Zeke has been a Commander fan for years, but I don't think he's that type of running back that we're searching for. He might be good in the red zone. I'm gonna be 100%. He's gonna be in the red zone, running 5 yards into the end zone. He can do that 100%. What he can't do is run from end zone to end zone. I wouldn't put him on kickoff returns anytime soon. I wouldn't do that.
He's not good. He's not good on first downs neither.
Exactly. I would put him in the red zone because he can only show that burst for 5 yards. that's about all he can do.
Now Tony, you put Tony in there and he's good. He's good for 15, 20 yards to carry.
If you give Tony a lane, 2 sidelines to sidelines, he's going to reach 155 yards every single time.
Oh, yeah.
I like Tony Pollard. Tony all the time.
Now here's what I'd say. What I would love to see happen.
Go ahead.
Cowboys. Cut Zeke. Or see what we can get for him in this year's option.
You know they already released Zeke.
Okay.
They already
go get this young man from Texas, Bijan Robinson.
Well, I think he's not going to Dallas. I think Dallas have another running back in mind they want to get. They're going to trust in, from what I read, and you might not know, you might know better than me, that's your team, but Jerry Jones has advocated that he's going to stick with Pollard, and I don't know if they let go of Davis yet, but I think it's between Pollard and Davis, they're gonna stay with them two and see what type of running backs they're gonna get. From what I read.
The reason why I said go pick up Bijan, Texas, is can you imagine having Pollard and Bijan in the backfield?
Yeah, but the thing about, I mean, Bijan is a good running back from the University of Texas, but I don't think he's going to be a Cowboy. I mean, a lot of teams want that style of running back in their backfield. You're right. He is one heck of a talent, but realistically, Dallas is not ranked, but they're selected around the 20s. He's not going to be there at 20.
I think we're number 25 or 26.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be there at 25 or 26. And I know that y'all need a whole rank of stuff, a whole rank of positions filled, but he's going to be gone.
Secondary.
Yeah, he's going to.
Thing we need right now is secondary.
Yeah, he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there and running back for you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are going to be gunning for him.
Because if you watch the games that we played in, our secondary was getting burned every time.
Yeah. We have another question. So what's coming up for our Washington Commanders? Our Washington Commanders right now are in Indianapolis for the Combine. They're watching the CBs. They're watching quarterbacks. And they're watching potential wide receivers and running backs.
Do the quarterback thing again.
Yeah. So here. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. McGee.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gerald.
What is your thoughts on your Washington Commanders releasing Carson?
Well, it was a good thing. It was a great thing because of the fact that he doesn't have the understanding of what I think his timing is off completely. He has a great arm. That's about the only thing I can honestly say good about Carson Wentz. He still has his strength, arm strength, but his timing is completely off. Completely. Who are we getting this season? We're getting the CB out of Oregon. And what about the coach? Yes, we have Eric Bieniemy. He's a former OC of Kansas City, the Super Bowl.
Damn good OC.
I've got a question on Bieniemy.
Go ahead, Marilyn. I'm listening.
Okay. He was speaking, in video, talking to everybody. Now, he was asked, what's he going to be doing? Okay. He says he's going to strain them. Now, if you keep, and you never saw Kansas City being strained.
Right.
Never. Now, if you strain, I don't care who you are, if you strain them too much,
right,
the back's going to get up. I'm going to tell you that right now. And we don't need our players to be treated like robots either.
So,
because I also saw that, they're going to be training them with computers. I'm like, these are human beings. It's not just a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's a team.
So when Eric said that he was going to train them with computers, what he was suggesting is to get their mindset of where placement is. So if you're supposed to be lined up on the left side, but you're lined up on the right, you're not familiar with the play that was scheduled for practice on that day. So that's what he was talking about on the practice field.
No, I'm not talking about sitting down like Alex Smith did with Heineke.
No, that's
Taylor Heineke. I'm talking about the dude. In fact, the dude was even on another video, and he's going back, and he's getting on the computer.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. That's training your mind.
No, that's not hands-on. That's not what I call hands-on coaching.
Well, you want old schooling. You want old schooling teaching. I get what you're saying.
Right.
I get what you're saying. And Eric
the computer will help. plays, but you got to be there, and you got to, got to be a coach, or you can hit the road.
Well, I mean, this is a great conversation to have, because I think bolstering up your players to do the exceptionally best thing that they can do with their abilities. If Ron Rivera is saying that this is acceptable, then it's going to happen because he believes in the process.
Ron didn't say it.
Well,
Ron did not say it.
Well, if you hire somebody and you sit down and you discuss things with your assistant coach and your strength coach and your nutritionist coach, and you go through the process of 1, 2, and 3, and this is how we're going to do every single week, and training with the mind of the computer of 101, yes, that is brought up in the conversations. Because if he would have said, no, I want you to do this, this, and this, like old school, it would have been brought up that Ron Rivera had declined to use computers as a training method to bolster the abilities of each and every player on this roster.
Coming in the future, Russell, it hasn't. No, they haven't started that yet.
Oh, no.
Fact,
okay.
Before Dmv came, they got Sam Howell, and Sam did play. Remember?
Yeah.
In a couple of games. Anyway, turned out Heineke was better. Now,
oh yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And I'm like, okay, this dude gets up there. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he came from. And I'm sorry, and yes, there is it is a business in the business office. But when it's the team, they're human beings. They got to keep that in mind. I know they got to get the plays out there. In fact, I'm sorry, but I think Alex Smith, and the way he got Heineke straightened, oh man, I'm surprised somebody don't pick him up.
I'm really.
I don't mean to play. I mean to coach.
Right.
Quarterback.
I think I'm really, I'm really upset about how the release of Heineke came about. I really wanted Heineke to be on this team because he's shown that he is capable of leading at 50. Yeah, 52. Games? Yeah, he was
us back.
Yeah, back to back. This guy was a definition of.
We were winning. We beat the Eagles.
Yes.
Excuse me, dear, but I'm going to say the Cowboys. And I'm like,
yeah.
Hello, Earth Mars, get your brain on. I'm just.
No, you're fine. Everything you're saying is correct because of the fact that this man has played with all emotions that we have been lacking for years, and it showed. Yeah. So before I start, there was a couple more questions being asked. So the other question was asked: who's taking share of our team? Well, the two finalists is Jeff Bezos and Josh Harris. Byron Allen did not make it, but I from what I heard is Byron Allen is going to be actually teaming up with Jeff Bezos. I just don't know when. So those are the two finalists. RG3. So the question says, why didn't RG3 buy the team? Because RG3 didn't come up with another minority owner to help purchase the team. So they're not millionaires. They're like maybe 2 or 3 million, some, around that. But, remember Daniel Snyder, he just went to a bank and got a loan for $55 million. So who are we going to get? Any good draft picks coming this season? It's going to be the CB.
You're still going to have the cap.
Yeah, so we're releasing.
To spend,
to
get the players.
Well,
that's all there is to it.
Well, we're releasing Bob McCain. We just released Carson Wentz. Carson
and they
Wentz.
also released Wentz because they wanted more capital.
Right, because he was a $10 million cap. So once we release him, we have enough cap space. Then Bobby McCain, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some other players we release soon. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be offensive line. It's probably going to be Sadiq Charles, because Sadiq Charles really didn't show us no type of ability in those years he was here. He was hurt majority of the time. So we're probably going to get some more left guard or right guard. And we're probably going to get another center, because I'm not about, Chase Roubier, he's probably on his way out too. But even though he was
Chase go?
Yeah, I think so, because Chase has been hurt a couple of times. I think during the course of the season, he just came back from a knee injury, and then he got injured again and was quartered off. So I think they're probably going to get another center.
You know what kind of operation he had, right?
Yeah.
They had to take from one leg to the other leg.
Yeah, and that was the problem.
Get him repaired. Yeah.
That was the problem, because he couldn't sustain those type of games. It was problematic. But it was,
But he's smart, because he can see what the offense is going to do.
True.
He can see it.
True. But the
others.
But reality-wise, he can't sustain a bull rush. So he has to plant that back leg when the defender is pushing you shoulder pad to shoulder pad up. You got to hold your leverage back. And with two bad knees, you can't plant your back leg that's already been operated on to the side and try to push back for that defender to push you back. So what you have to do is you have to release your shoulders and let him go through, hoping that the quarterback already released that ball with the 4-second rule. I think that's problematic, and that's how most of the time that Taylor Heineke got sacked most of the time, because he couldn't withstand that pressure of a DB or not DB, excuse me, DT pushing up on the shoulder pads. So that's another problem that So the question is, who is buying our team? It's going to be Jeff Bezos. He's going to be the owner, along with Byron Allen and Josh Allen.
Do you know for a fact that I'm going to say this?
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, Bezos is okay.
Yeah.
I forgot how many thousand were let go. They stopped working on a building at Virginia Tech.
Right.
Yeah, and he's going to let more people go.
Well, see, I have a theory.
Oh, yeah, he's a billionaire, and you know what? He hires people to do his job.
Well, here's.
And, yeah.
Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I took business management and all of that, and I'm like, nope. Nope.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm sorry, and my father did that too. He was very good. I'm like, nope.
Well, here's the thing. Even though I believe that Jeff Bezos is aware of the X and O's of offense, but he's not truly unaware of what football is. This man is capable of understanding what needs to be said, and which all he got to do is look at our previous in years of where we were trying to go and how we're going to get there. He's going to have really good football strategy minds around him, because if he didn't, he wouldn't own Amazon. He wouldn't have.
So.
I know so, because if he's very versed in understanding business 101 and advanced business, he should know advanced football. He should know every single morning if he has a football team, he should know that it's.
You know what he's looking at?
What?
You know what he's looking at? And I got this from an LA sports writer.
Uh-huh.
Who was telling me that I don't know anything about business. I don't know nothing. And I'm like, ooh, you need a cactus. I'm going to tell you right. Hey, you need a cactus. It needs to be put somewhere and rotated. Because he hired people to his job.
Right.
That's what he does.
Right. So
yeah.
Here's the thing. Even
now,
though
if
okay,
these thousands of people got laid off Amazon, that is not have happened. And not only that, that building, Amazon and Virginia Tech, they stopped that, and I'm like, okay. And then they were talking about building, and they were talking about putting our team and our fans in the old stadium.
Well, they can't do that.
Well, I let this DA know. I said that stadium is falling apart.
Yes.
They're going to have to rebuild it.
Well, here's the thing. That building is being demolition soon. So there's no revamping. Right. And when you told me that most of the fans are hoping Jeff Bezos gets it so that they can get their own names back, that is not going to happen. And I was
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was shocked on what the narrative was. And I'm like, are you seriously hoping that we'll get our name back because you think Daniel Snyder gave away?
All think that.
That is crazy. Oh my gosh. This is why
they're not going to get
This is why I cringe at the I cringe after the idea of most of our fan base of why they would subject themselves to that punishment because they don't know the branding, marketing brand of it. Once the name is gone, it's gone for life. You can't get it back. But the thing about it is knowing this owner is going to put up money to bring in teams who are players that actually won the Super Bowl with money behind it, which means it gives us a better chance of bringing in like mindset, like, you know, we could get Sean McVay back, you know, or we can get a defensive head coach for one that understands the X's and O's better than Jack Del Rio can.
They should have done that first.
Well, they couldn't because they didn't have the capital, or Daniel Snyder wasn't going to give that money away to get those people. And, you know, Daniel Snyder is a millionaire. And he's getting revenue on a daily basis on our fan base. You know, and that's where my mindset is right now. I don't know if anybody saw this, but there was a report card on the stadium and the activities in the stadium. They gave us an F on the stadium itself. And I'm like, okay. And then they gave outdated beer to the fans. That is horrible.
Oh, man.
How can you do that to your fans?
Do that.
That is so.
That's why I was stating that the safety of the fans and both teams come first because the fans pay for it.
They not only pay the stadium, they pay the executives, they pay the marketing management, they pay the brand name. They don't care exactly. They don't care about the fans exactly, Star. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked on how.
Stupid. I'm sorry.
But here's a funny thing, Gerald.
Owners like that in the NFL.
You know, I was going to ask you, Gerald.
Yeah.
Gerald, isn't that what Jerry Jones did one time when he I think it was one time before that he what was this, that he built the stadium you had before. It was horrible, so they had to revamp and build the stadium again because it was horrible. It was under code.
Yeah, Texas Stadium was beyond repair. It was past its time.
Yes.
And it would take anywhere from 200 to 300 million to bring it to redo it.
Exactly.
So,
wow.
So Mr. Jerry Jones went to the city of Dallas council, commission, whatever they want to call themselves, and said, "Look, I built a new stadium. Y'all don't have to pay for any of it. I pay for all of it out of my pocket."
So basically, the renovation of stadiums is a normal thing. What I'm mostly aware and saddened about is Daniel Snyder's decision to give his fans outdated beer because of the fact he was sore about the team and the fans talking about him. Not just the team, just the fans. So he gets mad and gives the people fake beer.
And that was the stupidest thing you could have
Wow, that it just blows my mind. I don't know any other owner who would do that to his own fans.
Now I understand, and actually when it comes to NFL, like these commentators on TV.
Yeah.
And they get up there and they just backstab him left and right. Now he could sue the ever-loving, you know what, out of them.
Backstabbing, yep.
They can be sued.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
There's one commentator I cannot stand. I wish they would give two rugby punters out. That's Chris Collinsworth.
You know what? Honestly, Gerald, I'm gonna say this. There's some things that Chris Collinsworth says that gets on my nerves, right? But some of the times he's speaking 85% truth. There's some things that I can say that he's an offensive mind guy, right? He's not a defensive guy. He was wrong on defense several times. But to my surprise, he was right about the nature of the team itself. The one player I wish would never became commentator, and I hate to say this, and I'm sorry, Gerald, I know you're a Cowboy fan, but I don't like Tony Romo. I never liked him as a potentially commentator. Excuse me. And this is why. Tony Romo has an ability to never be quiet. I'm talking about if a beer commercial comes on, this man is still talking. He should just go to sleep. Just call it a day. Just stop commentating about the games. Like he's a horrible commentator. I mean, he says some things that he should not said, and they still put him there. Greg Olson. Go ahead. No, wait a minute. No, like I told you before, you can't compare Tony Romo to Chris Collinsworth because Tony Romo said really dumb stuff on the air. Chris Collinsworth, sure, he might not like a player. He might not like a team. He might say something about defense that's untrue, but overall, he is a 100% real offensive guy. He'll tell you what this route is called. He'll tell you what the offense is about to do. Counter tray. He'll tell you that this team is doing a West Coast offense type of drill. That's fine. But Tony Romo would sit there and yell hike during a commentary, and you look at him like, yo, can you stop doing that? We know it's about hike. The ball just came to the quarterback. Yeah, I'm just telling you what they're saying in the huddle. Would you stop doing that? We're on live, sir. Stop. This is not what adults do. Stop it, sir. And then he would do it when the guy like, what do you think about this play? Well, this play is called Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse went up the clock. Sir, you need to go home. You need to go home quick because you don't know what you're talking about. Are you drinking on air, sir? What? Come on. Come on. We're not doing this. You know, I'd rather for Troy Aikman. I'd rather for Troy Aikman a commentary than Tony Romo. Even though he doesn't like the Washington Commanders, this man would sit there and tell you about individual players and what he think they should do. You know, come on.
There's another one I don't like, and that's Joe Buck.
Joe Buck? Who's that?
He's one that does commentating with Troy Aikman.
Oh, the guy that next to him, the one with the glasses. Oh, okay. Yeah, but you know what? Even though if he's there, he wouldn't say some really off the wall crap that Tony Romo would say. Like I'd rather for not Troy Aikman. What is his name? Emmitt Smith. I'd rather for Emmitt Smith to be a commentator than Tony Romo, and that says a lot. And I don't like Emmitt Smith, but I'd rather for him to come up there and just say whatever he feels like doing. What he needs to do is come up and block him and throw him to the ground. Okay, Emmitt Smith, I see you. Yeah, all right. But Tony Romo won't do that. Tony Romo would say some really, really dumb thing. Like he got really hit really hard when he was playing. So he needs to just call it quits. I would send a letter to...
I agree with you on that.
Let them do their thing.
The poor man took too many concussions. He needs to go see a doctor and try to get that shit straightened out.
He does. He needs to have a MRI scan ASAP. I mean, either he needs to go lay down and call his doctor for another prescription of whatever he prescribed him, because whatever he's missing, he needs to take it. He needs to take it, and I hope he's feeling better tomorrow morning when he's not going to work. How are you going to provide for his family? He got that what is that? Corona. He got the Corona commercial airing every single time. So he's going to get money. He's going to get money. He's got that little desk with the Rolodex. Go ahead, take your Corona, take that little lime out, sit back, talk to your wife.
He was a good QB. I admit, Tony Romo was a decent QB. Not a good one, but he was a decent quarterback.
Everybody loved playing against Tony Romo, and that's why, because he wasn't smart. He was 75% smart and just 110 dumb. I'm just gonna be real with you. I like the time we were playing against you. And Gerald, now listen, I know you're a Cowboy fan. All right. What I'm about to say to you is 100% facts, not speculated. All right. When we were playing against y'all in Dallas and that fly went on his face and he was smiling, do you know how many times I asked myself, dude, there's a big tail fly on your face. You do not feel that? Turn away from the camera. Nope, this man, I could have sworn this man turned to the camera and smiled even harder. Like, what's wrong with you? Then he threw that interception after the fly was on his face. I'm like, okay, that's why. Okay. Like you had Sean King as quarterback one time before. Am I right, Gerald? Not Sean King, but Quincy Jones.
Don't even get me started on that, Buster.
Quincy Jones, not Sean King. Sean King was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, but Quincy Jones can easily. Quincy Carter. Sorry, not Jones. I'm thinking about Figgins, Jones, and Quincy Carter combined. But anyway, Quincy Carter is more likable than Tony Romo.
Quincy wasn't that great of a quarterback.
But he understood that his limitations and his abilities. Tony Romo understood nothing. that's it. He understood nothing. he threw it to Dez multiple times. He threw it to Jason Witten multiple times, but understood nothing. And when he threw the interception into double coverage every single time, the coach tell him, do not throw it into double coverage. Next play, threw it in double coverage. So what does that tell you? That tells you the man is completely lost. What?
He didn't listen.
He didn't listen. Okay, listen, we got about 9 minutes. I'm going to just go through. This was a great topic. I'm sorry we took about a whole hour on it, but let's go. let's go to the Wizards. The Wizards are taking on the Toronto Raptors in Toronto, 84-90 in the fourth quarter. They're down 6 points, and their next opponent is the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So the Baltimore Orioles are playing against the Atlanta Braves today in the preseason, losing in Wells' debut. Tyler Wells is a rookie, but he lost 3-2 against the Atlanta Braves. Moving on to the DC Defenders. The DC Defenders recently played against. Let me see. While we wait for that score to come up here, we're going to go DC United. DC United play against Columbus today at 7:30. So we'll watch that. To check your local listings to watch that. We'll also, like I said before, 6 o'clock today, or it's probably going on right now. The Washington Capitals take on the San Jose Sharks. They are playing right now. As I said before, Jeff Bezos and Josh Allen are now the front runners to own the team. What basketball team? The Washington Wizards.
Wow.
Yeah. Right now, the Wizards are losing.
What's going to happen with Coach Rivera?
Well, Coach Rivera is actually going to stay. I don't think there's going to be no changes in the fact of him going, but I think the type of players we're going to get are Super Bowl caliber players. Because if you're going to give up that much money to bring in a talented quarterback or offensive line, you're going to have to put money up front. And if you put that much money up front, I guarantee you're going to be in the talking for playoffs. You're going to talk about the conference. Just remember, one other team did that, and Gerald can be my point of emphasis on this. Didn't the Cowboys have a $1 million front offensive line back in the 90s?
Yeah, we sure did. That's how come we won those
Yeah, they did.
So that means if Jeff Bezos come here, we might see that same type of offensive line being reconstructed as the original Hogs. Or not the original Hogs, but something close to it. So I'm hoping and praying he is, because we definitely need the capital. And not only that, think about the talent we get from the NFL draft. We can put up the money to get the top prospects that we know we can get now because we have the capital.
Not only the draft, but y'all make good moves for free agents.
That's true. That's another good point. Great point, Gerald. So who you think will make the playoffs? We're definitely going to make the playoffs, but we're going to probably be the 6th seed or 7th seed. This is the Wizards, so that's a good thing. We got 5 minutes. Let me go ahead and go through some of this. I said the San Jose Sharks. Let's see. Defenders. We don't have the. Oh, here we go. The Defenders roster. Let's go with who we're playing against. So DC Defenders are playing against. Oh, so they're ranked in the NFL. I mean, the XFL division, North Division. The coach is Reggie Barlow. They're now 2-0. So they are going to play against. Did they play against the Vipers yet? Yes, they did. So we'll wait for the.
I still don't have the XFL yet.
Man, you better watch it. What are you talking about?
I wasn't able to watch them last week.
You two missed two great.
Put them on the ESPN and all that.
What you two need to do is go on YouTube and type in DC Defenders and watch the XFL, because the DC Defenders are for real. And guess who's the head coaches? I forgot to do this last week. Guess who is the head coach of the DC Defenders?
Who?
The former defensive coordinator of the Washington Redskins, Greg. What's his name? Shoot. Okay. Look, I had it in my head. Greg. George Greg? No, Jeff, no. Greg something. Gosh darn it. I had it in my head. Oh, I feel so horrible. Because he was there. He was there when he taught Sean Taylor.
I know how to find that.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, Marilyn?
I think I do.
Yeah, he was the one.
They got a good one there.
Yeah, so he is the original guy who was the head coach of the LA Rams when they were in LA, and he was the defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins / the Commander. So Star knows who I'm talking about. Yep, that's exactly what it is. And now he is the head coach of the Defenders. So I know for a fact he will go to the playoffs with this team, because this team is special as talent. Maryland is going to play Penn State for the final game of the year, and they will go into the Big Ten tournament. They are 20-10. I'm proud of them. First round is March 8th in Chicago, Illinois, for the Big Ten tournament. The second round is Chicago. So all of the rounds are in Chicago. My hats off to the Maryland Terrapins for a great year. Maryland Wizards are 86-97, and they are typically going to lose this game. It's in the fourth quarter with 8:09 to play. I'm pretty sure right now. Yeah.
That's the DC Defenders head coach, Greg Barlow.
No. What's his name? No, not the head coach. I was talking about defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's Jack Del Rio.
No, Jack Del Rio is for us.
It's with Washington.
Yeah. We're talking about Greg. He was a defensive coordinator for us when we went to the playoffs at one time. He was the one who taught Sean Alexander when we had that defense. He's also the defensive coordinator for the DC Defenders. That's what I was stating. I misspoke on the head coach. Yeah, so that's actually the greatest thing ever. You know.
Greg Williams.
Yeah, Greg Williams. Greg Williams. That's who it is. Greg Williams.
Okay, yeah. I cheated. I looked it up on Google.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you. I do things because I'm a member. But we got 1 minute to go. I want to thank Marilyn, Tim, Antonio, Gerald. Gerald, what is your show called again?
Things changed. My show is now called the Wisconsin Report. You can catch us every Thursday night from 5.
Okay. All right. The Wisconsin Report.